Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Skalla Pat. He's Big Game Matt. It is way past time for having this show, but that could only mean the goodies have gone to the movies. How you doing, Big Game Matt?
I'm a little irritated.
A little irritated. Well, you better get over that because we're doing movie reviews, and after the show, you can catch us over on YouTube for Matt and Pat play that. We're going to be doing all kinds of weird things tonight, at least until Matt's got to get up to do things for his house meeting in the morning. So how was your weekend? Did you enjoy your time with Chris yesterday?
Oh, of course. I always do. I love going over there. I just wish I could go over there more than once a week.
Well, you guys are getting ready to move in back in with each other, I should say.
Yeah,
So
true.
that's a good thing. So apparently, Big Gay Matt saw a movie this weekend that I will not be attending or trying to see, and that was Zombieland 2 Double Tap. So
Which was hilarious.
I'm gonna let him give a little insight to that. So go ahead, Big Gay Matt.
Uh, well, I don't know how to start. It was
Give us the
hilarious.
plot. Let's start with the plot.
There wasn't, to me, it didn't seem like there was much of a plot. Little Rock goes off with some weird peace-loving hippie kind of guy that she just meets on the road, and she leaves her sister with him, and so the rest of the main cast go off and try to find Little Rock, and along the way, they meet this really dumb blonde girl, and she really is dumb. It's hilarious. But oh, I can't even think of the place it was called. They finally find a place that I guess they call home, where there's a whole bunch of other people. It's, of course, where the hippies and stuff live. Nothing against
Right.
them. And
Right. It's a commune.
there's a new type of zombie. I can't remember what they call it, but it's some term for Terminator. And it's a lot smarter and faster. And there's like a whole bunch of them that attack this place, and they come up with a ridiculous idea to stop them. But yeah, there wasn't really much of a plot, but I couldn't stop laughing. It was funny.
Right on, right on. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. For me, sequels really aren't my thing, but that one just kind of looked like a really lame attempt at a really bad sequel. So, I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it, though.
No, I
I,
mean, I'll agree. It was, but it was funny.
on the other hand, have started watching a new Netflix limited series called The Spy.
I think I wanted to see that.
Sasha Baron Cohen. For anybody that doesn't know, that's Borat.
Oh God.
I want to keep in mind that the guys that did the movie for Queen decided that they didn't want Borat because they didn't think he would take the role seriously. And I'm gonna let everybody know now that of this generation, Sasha Baron Cohen is one of the most underrated actors of all time for this generation. He is
Huh.
doing this show is marvelous. Marvelous. His acting is so it's just so on point. Like
I can't see
there's
him being serious though.
yeah, well, a lot of people don't, but that's the thing about underrated actors. Look at it this way. You didn't think
True.
Robin Williams could be serious, but then you watched 1 Hour Photo.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was insane.
I also point out that people didn't think Robin Williams could be serious, but then they watch What Dreams May Come, which is a visually stunning and just superbly written movie. So, to not give a comedic actor an opportunity to prove his range because of his previous works, that's like saying that Jim Carrey couldn't be serious, but then you watch movies like I Love You, Philip Morris, and God, what's that other one? There was another really good one. Um, Absent Mind or something. It's a movie where he got his mind wiped so he could forget about his previous girlfriend and a really bad breakup. Excellent movie.
I haven't
Um,
really seen him in anything serious.
yeah, there was Badlands, the Batch. That's what it was called.
Hmm.
He didn't have any lines in that. He was literally a guy pushing a broken shopping cart through a desert. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
to say that comedic actors don't have the range to play serious roles, they'll come back with something serious just to prove you wrong. And in this, I believe that was Sacha Baron Cohen spitting in the face of every critic that said he couldn't play somebody serious. Okay,
Nice.
because yeah, he like nails this part beautifully. It's perfect. But he's well acting in it, well versing in it. I mean, just the story is uh, based on a true story about the Syrian-Israeli war and a spy that the Israeli government sent to Syria. So far, I'm about 5 episodes in. I started watching it a couple days back. I can't stop. It's great.
Well, good. I'm glad you found something that you enjoy.
Oh, I am enjoying it. You'll enjoy it too when you sit down to watch it. You'll have to excuse me a moment because my dogs are barking.
I'm trying to. Just
All
a
right.
second.
So, with that said, we're going to move into tonight. We are reviewing Saw, unfortunately, and Scream, even more unfortunate, and
Oh,
Candyman,
come on.
oh,
Ugh.
terrible, and Hellraiser, which the sequel was better, the first one was slow. Uh,
You were the one who picked him.
I did pick them. I did pick them. God, I hated these movies. I did pick them. I think this was just my Halloween torture to myself. So
Okay.
yeah, Leia Hanwell playing Adam Faulkner, Stan Height, Carrie Ellis playing Dr. Lawrence Gordon, Danny Glover playing Detective Tapp, which that's where the Detective Tapp came from. That's supposed to be Danny Glover in Dead by Daylight. Ken Leung is Detective Stephen Singh. Uh, Dinah, Dina, Dinah,
Dina.
Dina, Dina. Dina Meyer is Carrie. Mike Butters is Paul. Paul Guterek is Mark. Yeah, it's funny. I can pronounce Guterek, but I can't figure out Dina.
It's okay. We
Michael
forgive you.
Emerson as Zip Hindle. Benito Martinez is Brett. Shawnee Smith is Amanda. Mackenzie Vega is Diana Gordon. Monica Potter is Alyssa Gordon. Ned Bellamy is Jeff. Alexandria Bokyeon Chun as Carla. Um, Avner Garby is father, and of course Tobin Bell is Jigsaw. This movie takes place pretty much in one room of two guys chained to a wall having to decide who's going to kill who to make it out alive. Because, you want to play a game. Everybody knows the plot to Saw. I don't think I really need to get into it any further than that. God, I hated this movie.
What? What did you hate about it the most? I mean, why do you give it such crap? I think the very first one was something new for me at least. I hadn't seen anything like it before, and that's what got me into it. Now the
Mm-hmm.
second sequel was okay, but after they went on from there, it just I agree it got
Old
yeah,
and pretentious because of the plot
yeah.
line of roll this cigarette in poison blood and give it to the guy that needs a cigarette. Listen, I've been to jail. All right. Been to jail.
Okay.
I am a cigarette smoker. I'm, in fact, preparing to light a cigarette now. But let's be honest for a minute. Even I'm not taking the one cigarette from a non-smoker and smoking it when I'm stuck in a room and it magically appears in a box. There's one cigarette, one lighter. Here, buddy, you can have this. And the whole premise of the fucking game is to one person kill the other. You see what I'm saying?
I do, yes.
Like, I think it would have been much more entertaining for them to just randomly drop a gun in there and go, first guy to shoot themselves or shoot the other person would win. But instead, we went on to just go ahead and roll it out that way. It was directed by Wes Craven. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't. I'm looking at the wrong IMDb right now.
I was going to say, Wes Craven, what?
No, but to me, it didn't hold any premise. To be honest, I enjoyed Saw 2 more than I enjoyed this one because it was more of a gore fest than this one. This was a very long, drawn-out, boring process where its only payoff they gave you at the very beginning of the show with the reverse bear trap.
I liked, see, like I said, when it first came out, I was sort of young and I hadn't seen anything like it, and I liked the twist of it. You know, when it got to the end and everything fit together, I was like, wow, that was really cool. I didn't really go into it that deep.
I tried. Well, this was during a time when, to me, horror was horror and movies didn't have to have a plot that would be immersive. And I watched it and I enjoyed it when I first seen it, but then I went back and watched it some years later and I was just like, what is this crap? Like, seriously, what is this? This is boring as fuck. I just couldn't get back into it. I really couldn't. I tried, but I couldn't.
That is so funny because every time I watch it from now on, I don't know why, but it always either makes me sick or kind of like, I can't believe I'm watching this. I don't know why, even though I've seen it a million different times.
I couldn't. I tried. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I couldn't. I watched it again before this review, and I was just like, oh, why am I watching this? Oh, why am I even bothering with this? Oh, why? Now, I guess when it came to Scream, which we're about to get into, it came to that. I couldn't stand any of the sequels, but the first one was all right. It was okay. But I'm going to give Saw a thumb and a stub and 2 stars for entertainment.
Okay.
Before we move on to Wes Craven's Scream movie that came out in '96 with I'm not even going to say it starred. It had a cameo by Drew Barrymore in it. Of course, Roger Jackson played the voice of Ghostface.
Why do you say had a cameo instead of star? Well,
because it was a whole scene where she just ended up dying. I wouldn't really call that a starring role. She literally died in the first 5 minutes of the movie, so that's more of a cameo than anything else.
Okay. I'll agree with you.
So we got a cameo by Drew Barrymore. Roger Jackson played the voice of Ghostface. Kevin Patrick Walls played Stephen Orth. David Booth played Casey's father. Carla Hatley played Casey's mother. Nev Campbell, naturally, because I think this is what made it good, was Party of Five was a big thing then. So Nev Campbell being on Party of Five, this being her first starring role, really drew the Party of Five crowd to it. So I mean, it was good marketing.
Wasn't she also in The Craft?
Well, yeah, but that was before Party of Five, and The Craft is actually considered a cult classic. It didn't do very well in the theaters,
I'm surprised. I love that movie.
but she starred as Sidney Prescott. Skeet Ulrich, oh God, there's nothing good about you or anything you've done. It played Billy Loomis. Lawrence Hike played Neil Prescott. Courtney Cox played Gail Weathers. Uh, W. Earl Brown as Kenny Jones. Rose McGowan as Tatum Riley. Lewis Saunders as Miss Tate. David Arquette as Dewey, Deputy Doofy. Reporting for duty. I'm cleaning my room. I'm sorry. I can't not do it. I can't. I tried. I tried so hard. I'm cleaning my
Wait,
room.
wait. Okay,
David
let me
Arquette,
try.
the guy that played Doofy in Scream 1 or Scary Movie 1 looked
It said, "Don't
exactly like,
disturb me when I'm cleaning my room."
yeah, don't disturb me while I'm cleaning my room. You know what that smells like? Oh, it smells like ass. Yeah, because it was in my ass. Swear to God, dude.
So gross.
David Arquette, or the guy that played Deputy Doofy in that movie, they made him look like a retarded David Arquette, and it was just beautiful.
It was perfect.
So, I mean, every time I see Deputy Dewey in Scream, I just can't help but go, cleaning my room. Matthew Lillard was Stewart, Jamie Kennedy is Randy, a bunch of reporters. And then you've got Frances Lee McCain as Miss Riley, C.W. Morgan as Hank Loomis, Liv Schreiber as Cotton Weary, Troy Bishop as some expelled teens, another expelled team unnamed, a bunch of other faceless young nobodies. So, let's get into this.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Go ahead and give it the plot, Big A Mac, because you love this movie, and I'm gonna let you have some limelight.
Well, but there's not really much of a plot. I mean,
Bullshit. The entire movie
I
was
mean,
based on a plot.
there it was a plot, but it didn't seem like a worthy plot. Like there, it's hard
What,
to explain.
that Sydney's mom was a slut that ended up getting murdered for being a slut, only to
Well,
have
that,
copycats show up afterwards.
but it just, to me, it wasn't a plot worthy enough to oh, what is I'm trying to say?
Worthy enough to follow.
No, for people to get killed over.
You know, that's true. You're absolutely right. And I think that's why it was killing me so bad with this movie. Because the entire Scream series was based on nothing more than copycat killers.
Pretty much, yes.
All copycatting the same victim through the same turn of events that happened back before she was even old enough to know what was going on. And I think that in itself is what bothered me so much about this series, that I didn't like it. Now,
see, I like the movie, but the plot, like I said.
Yeah, it could have really plotted that out better. It wasn't one of Frank Williams' shining moments. And that's who wrote this debauchery with Courtney Cox. God, Courtney Cox.
But I like her. She's, I don't know. There's something about her.
My question is how are you going to be playing on Friends and at the same time play a teenager? I guess that then again turns around and falls into the like the whole Scary Movie spoof about how everybody's old but they're still playing like teenagers.
I loved that part.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I just love the fact that, you know, like, I know I keep going back to Scary Movie, but the way they did it to coincide with this was just so perfect because it played off of everything when I watched the first movie. Everything that they did in the Scary Movie movie, I was literally stating out loud as I'm watching Scream for the first time. I'm like, how are these people even playing high schoolers when they're like doing roles as full-grown adults with sex lives?
Well, a lot of movies and TV shows do that. They get young actors and actresses who look like they could play younger kids than what they are.
Yeah, but come on, dude. When you're on one of the nation's top running two of the nation's top running shows, you can't just turn around and get away with playing a high school teenager. I mean, sure,
No,
Nev Campbell could pull it off because, the craft allowed her to do that, but I wasn't believing for a second that Courtney Cox was in high school at all.
she wasn't trying to be. Remember, she was a news reporter.
Oh, please. Oh, please. Even then, she was trying to fit in as quote unquote. Oh, this movie. Anyways, Skeet Ulrich couldn't pass as a high schooler if he tried either. I'm sorry. The only person that was believable as passing as a high schooler at that time was fuck. God damn it. Help me out here.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Matthew Lillard. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, Matthew Lillard.
Total brain fart there. Yeah, but Matthew Lillard. And the reason he could is because he kind of had one of them faces, that just seemed forever young. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you see Hackers, and he's already, like, in his 20s in Hackers. So then you see him in Scream, like, 5 years later. He's, peak 20s going into 30s. Still looks like, just this dude you would see in high school. He's
Wow.
kind of got what I like to call the everyman's face. You know what I mean?
What? No. Every man's face?
Yeah. Boris Karloff had an everyman's face. Tom Hardy has an everyman's face. What that means is he can play multiple roles in either age or not age, or be younger. Okay. So I mean, you look at Tom Hardy in Venom. Okay, and he looked a lot younger than when you looked at Tom Hardy in, say, Mad Max. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And those came out roughly around the same time. Now I look at Tom Hardy after all of that, and then I see Tom Hardy come back for season 6 or 5 of Peaky Blinders, and he just looks old and disheveled, and he's got an everyman's face. So it's a face literally made for any kind of role that would require that. Okay. I'm going to give this 4 stars because of entertainment purposes when I did watch it, and because Scary Movie came along after it and really just kind of said everything I was thinking. Therefore, now every time I go back to watch Scream, all I can do in my head is watch Scary Movie. So it gives me an entertainment value. I'm going to give it a thumb and a stub. I didn't like the fucking end twist because it was just too stupid. Pretty much the dude was going to kill Cindy, not just because they idolized the killer, but because Sydney wouldn't put out.
Pretty much.
Basically, he had the worst case of blue balls ever, which really just kind of cut off that other thumb. And it's about to take a star away if I don't move on to the next movie, which is Candyman.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to move on. This is based on a Clive Barker book called The Forbidden. Okay, it's about a drug dealer that ends up getting murdered and comes back as the Candyman, and we all know how Candymen are. You stand in the mirror and you say Candyman, and Candyman's supposed to come and attack you.
Wasn't that supposed to be Bloody Mary?
Candyman's the same premises. You can look it up.
I know.
But Bernard Rose directed this wonderful wonderful disheveled film which starred Tony Todd as Candyman, starred Virginia Madison as Helen Lale, Xander Berkeley as Trevor Lyle, Casey Lemons as Bernadette Bernie Walsh. Vanessa Williams was in this movie as Anne Marie McCoy, Dejan Guy as Jake, Mariana Elliott as Clara, Ted Raimi, which I thought was pretty cool, as Billy. Oh, for those of you that don't know, Ted Raimi is one of the greatest brotherhoods to ever grace the screen of the Raimi brothers.
Why is
He's
that?
also, you know who the Raimi brothers are, right?
Doesn't ring a
Without the
bell.
Raimi brothers, we wouldn't have had Evil Dead. We wouldn't have had Hercules. We wouldn't have had Xena. Okay.
Oh,
We wouldn't
okay.
have had Twin Peaks, Dead Wax. I mean, I could go on here if you'd like. Videodrome.
Wait, are we talking about the
Legend
director of Spider-Man with
Seeker?
Tobey
No, that's
Maguire?
Sam Raimi. That's his brother. Like I said, the Raimi brothers.
Okay.
But
That
he
was
was in
Raimi.
Spider-Man 3 as Hoffman.
Huh.
He was also in, let's see, Masters of Horror. He was in
Oh
Kalamazoo.
my God.
He was
Master
in
of Horror.
The Evil Dead Generations as the voice of Sam. He was
Oh, that's right.
he was in the Hush episode of CSI New York as Garage Joe or Joe Strahal. He was Hoffman in Spider-Man 2. Oh, geez. He was just Hoffman. I mean, he was Joxer and Xena.
I loved that show.
Yeah, so you know. He was a Joxer in Hercules and Xena.
That was a good show too, Hercules.
Yeah, he was also in Sequest.
Huh.
He was Timothy O'Neill in Sequest. I don't know if you ever had a chance to watch that, but yeah, he's been doing stuff for years. A lot of his stuff coinciding with guys that him and Bruce Campbell knew. So
That's crazy.
I
did not know
He
that.
was also, if you remember in Evil Dead 2, you remember Henrietta, the fat chick, the fat lady, the fat deadite?
Yes.
Yeah, he was her.
What?
Yeah, he played her.
That's crazy. Huh.
Yeah, I love Ted Raimi. So there's not a really whole lot to go over with this other than it was just fuck all terrible.
That's true.
But it was a decent sequel follow to it. Farewell to the Flesh was actually really good. I enjoyed Farewell
I hope
to
so.
the Flesh. We won't spend too much time on this. 2 stars and a half a stub.
And when you told me that Tobin Bell or Tobin, oh my God, I can't even think
Tony
of
Todd.
his name. Yeah, Tony Todd. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
When you told me that he was in it, and I already knew he was in it, but when you told me he was in it, I was thinking it would be a lot better than it was.
Well, you got to remember this was some early Tony Todd.
Yeah, but he's always got that
And
creepy.
For it being 92, it really was one of the better, movies that had come out as far as horror goes. Because in 92, we really didn't have much of pickings for horror movies. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't know. I was not even, I mean, I
I
was
didn't
one.
know that. Tony Todd played Kern in the Redemption saga on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Huh. He was also in episodes of Jake and the Fat Man. I used to love that show.
I've never
The
seen it.
1990 version of Jake and the Fat Man was about a rookie detective and a retired fat cop solving mysteries. He was also in the 1990 version of the Evil or Night of the Living Dead. He was also Zimba in the Black Rhino episode of MacGyver. He had played Mr. Crumrine in an episode of Night Court. I mean, he was doing a lot of TV stuff, before he did movies. So he was also Augustus Cole in the Sleepless episode of The X-Files. So I'm pretty sure that's where you actually started seeing him. He was also Gilgamesh in Hercules.
Huh.
But I didn't know that. So
Yeah, I would have never known that.
So anyways, we move on, and wasn't one of his peak moments, but still,
Yeah.
still, I can't help but love Tony Todd.
Yeah, he's
He's
awesome.
been working forever and a day, so I'm gonna give him the reins on that. He is in post-production for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, he's doing the remake of Candyman. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 movies he's got in pre-production right now.
That's awesome.
Well, not 2 in pre-production, and the other 12 are in post-production, or 11 are in post-production. So he's completed a bunch of movies all the way through 2020. So get ready, people. There's going to be a lot of Tony Todd coming out, including the sequel to Bulletproof. So that's going to be exciting to see. So, oh yeah, and he was one of my favorite movies. The Man from Earth was really one of the best movies I've ever seen. All right, so that's Tony Todd. Moving on to Hellraiser. This movie, the first half of this movie puts me to sleep because of how slow it is.
Yeah, I know. God, it's so slow.
Barker wrote and directed all of this, including the novel that went with it. Andrew Robinson was Larry. Claire Higgins was Julia. Ashley Lawrence is Christy Cotton. Sean Chapman is Frank. Oliver Smith was Frank the Monster. Kenneth Nielsen is Bill. Olive Parker was a moving man. Let's see. The lead Cenobite was Doug Bailey. The chattering Cenobite was Nicholas Weiss. And Simon Bamford was the Butterball Cenobite, the fat Cenobite. This movie is about a guy that finds a box that apparently has traveled from Egypt way back when to now, and opens the puzzle box. Come on, we all know the plot to Hellraiser. Opens the puzzle box, and hell is trying to unleash itself on Earth, and in turn will take his soul for solving the puzzle. So this movie, I've got to give this movie at least, I'm going to give it 3 stars on the entertainment front, but once it picked up and started moving, it got 2 thumbs from me.
Yeah, I know. The first one, I was like, God, I don't want to watch this anymore, but finally, by the end.
Right, about the time you give up on it is about the time it picks up and everything starts happening.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this movie's awesome.
Finally.
Yeah, finally, something good. Finally, something good's going to happen.
God, that was,
So that it does, and it happens, and it's actually ends up being a good ending. The rest of that series was just really good. Just really good. There wasn't really a slow moment to the rest of the series. It got right the fuck down to it. It's like Clive Barker, and that's one thing I give Clive Barker credit for when he does his movies. He learns from his mistakes. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, this movie was good, but it went way too slow on the pickup. Let's do this time around. And then he will go in the opposite direction with it, and it is just like there. It's got what it needs. So, 2 stars on the entertainment, or 3 stars on the entertainment, 2 thumbs for the delivery. All in all, a good movie. Those are our 4 movies for this week, anyways. And, talking about the underrated actors of the world. Oh, man.
Out of the Hellraiser series, I was going to say this. The newest one, Judgment, wasn't very good.
Did Clive Barker do Judgment?
I don't know. I don't think he did, actually. And if he did, it was
Let me find
not
out.
very
We
good.
will look it up right now. No, it wasn't. It was
I
Gary
didn't
J.
think so.
Tooncliffe, based on Clive Barker's characters, which I didn't think it would be a very good movie. I mean, by now, the Hellraiser series has really just kind of wound itself down.
Yeah.
It's not really a
Well, and
series that needs to continue.
the guy who played Pinhead actually was pretty good in Judgment, but the rest of the movie just itself was not. The plot was terrible, and
Mm-hmm.
you didn't even actually see any of the. Oh my god, I can't even freaking think of their names.
Cenobites.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you didn't see any of them.
The thing is that Pinhead isn't even Pinhead. That's not his name.
No, yeah, but
No, like that's not his name. He's not Pinhead.
it's an easier.
That's what everybody says, but it really wasn't. Like his real name really isn't Pinhead. It's
Oh,
yeah. He's a Cenobite like everybody else.
okay.
They call him Pinhead, but he's just known as the leader Cenobite. Because he leads the he's one of the many leaders of the Cenobites.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, I get it. I get it. Pinhead is what he's going to always be known by, even if that's not his name, because that's what everybody's come to know him as, is Pinhead. And I'll let you know that Doug Bradley played Pinhead, and he played him in, I think, just about every one of them. Let's see. I'm going to look it up and make sure. Yeah, he was in Hell World. Oh, wow.
What?
He was in Star Wars The Old Republic, Shadow of the Riven. He was Viditate, the Sith Emperor, which really didn't make sense because the Sith don't have an emperor.
Well, we all know how Star Wars is.
Yeah.
Lest we get into it.
Let's not say we did. I'm going to just move away from that. I mean, he was Doc Frazier in Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes, so.
I never saw that one, remember? Or wait, is that the third one or the fourth one?
That was the 4th one.
Okay, yeah, so I never saw
the
that
TV
one.
version, yeah. He was also in Prophecy Uprising. This guy has done a lot of things.
I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to see that.
I'm surprised that I didn't recognize it. Yeah, it's Lead Cenobite, also known as Pinhead. I knew I was right. Lead Cenobite. Yeah. So, anyways, just wanted to make sure I was on point there. So,
I didn't think so.
me and Big Game Matt have started the new Goonies TV channel on YouTube, and I want all of our wonderful viewers or listeners to head on over there. Give us a like and a subscribe. We're trying to do something special, trying to make something more than it is. You're going to start finding these talk show podcasts over there as well. As of this podcast, I'm going to be editing as of tomorrow morning, and it will be on by tomorrow afternoon. And while I'm taking that time, I just want everybody to know that this, like all of our other ones, have been brought to you by TalkShoe.com, because me and Big Gay Matt find that TalkShoe.com is the fastest, most convenient way to get our podcast out to you, the listeners. Almost 200 downloads, Matt. We need to have a 200 download special.
I know we do.
So you and I need to start planning to have a 200 download movie extravaganza. And we want to thank all of our downloaders that come by and check us out. Even if it's one of you, even if it's 7 of you, you are making this worth our time. We want to apologize for the lateness of this podcast, as Big Gay Matt was out with the flu last week. Poor little bugger. He was just sounding like he sent me voice messages, and I was like, I can't put that out. That voice cannot sully our podcast.
It pretty much sounded like if you could get sick through the phone or any type of, microphone or whatever.
Like you had penises stuck in your nose. I'm not gonna lie. It sounded like you had a penis stuck in your nose, and you were just talking with one in your mouth, but you were talking like out of the side of your mouth.
I've never.
Like, oh my God, this is really good penis right now. I mean,
but I've never had one in my nose before. I don't know how that would.
Well,
I guess I'm gonna have to talk to Chris. Yeah, we're gonna.
You just gonna tell him try and pick my nose with your penis? I mean, do I really got to go into needle dick jokes at this point? Let's not do that to poor Chris. He's not here to defend himself.
I can defend him.
And that's my little queen of the. And that's my little queen of the Route 69 glory hole, ladies and gentlemen. Constantly defending penises worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. Big Gay Matt.
Oh God.
So we also have a new member to the Goonies, and I want to give a special shout out to Bailey. Bailey's wanting to come on our podcast with us, and I wouldn't see why not, except for the fact that he's usually asleep when we're doing our podcast.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do about that, but anyways, we want to welcome Bailey, and we want to thank him for helping out with server things for the server we're playing on. He helped them pay for the server this month so that we could continue our journey on DayZ. So we got games that came out this week, and I believe it was this week. Let me look it up. October video game releases. Call of Duty Mobile came out. Destiny Shadow Warrior. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because we had to give fucking Lil Wayne something to promote so he can make some more money.
What?
Have you not seen that? Yeah, Lil Wayne does all the promotion commercials for the Ghost Recon series.
That's weird.
Yeah. Let's see. It doesn't look like anything good. Oh yeah, that's in March. So March 20th, we're getting the new Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah.
And for all you Switch members out there, and here's where everybody's going to be conflicted. We're also getting the new Animal Crossing.
Oh my gosh.
The same day.
Huh.
So there's going to be choices to be made. Choices to be made.
Animal Crossing.
I will let everybody know that the month of November will be the month for kid games, because with it being so close to the holiday season. We'll be getting a shit ton of kids games to give to your kids. A bunch of Pokemon games are coming out. Garfield Kart Furious Racing. I
Oh,
don't
God.
even want to know, but I'm gonna look it up because my wife is a Garfield fan.
Garfield's adorable.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's
Speaking of
not.
which,
It looks
oh
like
my
it's gonna
God.
be another like the Nickelodeon, the Nicktoons Racer game.
Speaking of Garfield,
Hmm.
at the end of um, Zombieland,
Yeah,
they had a little short thing of Bill Murray talking about Garfield 3.
yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that was hilarious.
Well, that's because it's the running joke for that movie series is Bill Murray and Garfield. You remember they asked him, so do you have any regrets? And he said, well, Garfield was one.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah. So there's that. I mean, I don't know. A third Garfield movie is just too much for me, anyways. I love Bill Murray, don't get me wrong, but I did not like the Garfield series, and I don't think I'm ever going to. And
No,
nobody
no.
can make me.
I don't think anybody would make you like that series.
Right. They could try. It wouldn't work, but they could try. So, that said, what are we going to do next? What do you want to do next week?
Frick, I don't know. I want to keep with the Halloween kind of theme, but we've already done like so many different horror movies. And oh, I saw the third. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It was horrible. I didn't even know they made a third one.
Yeah. That whole series was terrible.
Yeah, I liked the first one. The second one was but there was no need for a third one, and it didn't even have the main cast from the original. So
I mean, oh, God, it was just terrible.
like
That
I
whole
said,
that whole saga was terrible. It was like Scream all over again.
kinda.
Not kinda. I mean, it really was.
Sorta, a little bit, kind of 50%. But it was on Sci-Fi the other night, and boy, you could tell it was a sci-fi movie. CGI, oh my God, the CGI was horrible.
Oh
And
boy.
the killer turned out to be the killer from the original, but as a zombie, kinda.
Yeah, buddy. Gotta love those winning plot notes, huh? We'll
It
just
was like
make
an
the
urban
killer.
legend thing.
We're gonna make the killer from the first one. Only he's gonna be a zombie.
Well, it was if you do something during the summer that you try to keep as a secret, he comes back and comes after you and kills you.
Oh, that's just awful.
Yeah,
That's
that
just
was the plot.
awful. Why would you? No. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they've broken my heart.
Oh, I know.
Not that it
Oh,
mattered because the first one broke my heart. The first one is what really started to make me give up on horror movies altogether.
what?
I
Why?
know what we're gonna watch.
Okay.
We're gonna do
What's that?
Corpse, House of a Thousand Corpses. We're
Okay.
gonna do the sequel to that as well, The Devil's Reject.
Hmm.
Sounds like good because you haven't seen him yet, and I kind of want to get your take on him.
Okay.
And let's see, what other one can we do? What else do you want to do? Let's see. You're staying with the horror theme, so why don't you go ahead and pick out a couple? Let's see what you got.
Let's see. Dang, what's a good horror movie? Something I haven't seen. I don't know. I'd have to be actually looking at. Let's see. Horror. Should we do like a? I've never seen like the Trick or Treat movies. Are those any? I mean, is that a good movie?
I didn't watch the second one. The first one was actually pretty good, though.
I've never even seen either of them, so I didn't even know they made a
I
second
would.
one.
I didn't know they made a second one. I know that Trick or Treat itself was actually pretty good. So if you want to check that out, we can. It had
Yeah,
its ups and downs, but it was
let's do the Trick
enjoyable
or
at
Treat movie.
most. All right. So we're gonna do The Devil's Rejects. We're gonna do House of a Thousand Corpses. We're gonna do Trick or Treat. Sorry. Really good vodka Kool-Aid tonight. And we're gonna do let's see, there should be at least one more. We should do one more. You know what? You can't never go wrong with It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That does constitute as a movie, mind you, in the Halloween category. But I think instead we can go with we can do better than that. You know, I've always been a fan of, and I'm always going to watch every Halloween. I'm gonna sit down with the original Dracula, Bela Lugosi, and I mean I'm gonna make fun of it this time, but it'll be a lot of fun. So, I think Big Game Matt ended up disconnecting. Poor fella left me high and dry again. Yep. Big Game Matt has vanished into thin air.
No, I'm here.
Oh, there he is. You weren't saying anything,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
I don't know what happened. It like I was talking to you, but you couldn't hear me, I guess.
Nope, couldn't hear you at all. Neither could our freaking listeners. So, those three movies. What else do you want to do? What would be a good third movie? What would be one that neither of us have seen?
Well, actually, I thought we were doing both of the Trick or Treat movies.
I didn't know there was a second Trick or Treat movie.
I was looking at the thing. It says Trick or Treat 2, 2007, or a sequel to 2007's Trick or Treat.
When does that come out? Or did come out?
I don't know if it's actually out or not.
Okay.
It's on my list.
Let's play it safe and find something else then. Did you watch 31?
I have not.
Okay, then we're gonna do 31. So we're gonna have we're gonna call it the mainly Rob Zombie marathon. You can
Yeah.
actually get 31 on Pluto TV right now, so for free. So you can literally watch it. Yeah. So you'll be able to do it that way. So tonight, I think our gaming lineup is I figured out how to get around the bug that is stopping Dead by Daylight from loading.
Okay.
And what I have to do is I have to not exit out of the game, but go to my main menu as the game is starting. so it slows down my fan so that when it picks it back up, it's good to go.
Well, if that's what you have to do, I mean, and
Hey,
if it works,
it
then you
works.
tried it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, that's how I got it to go today because it wouldn't want to start, and I accidentally went onto my dashboard there, and it started it up, or I started it and had to go to my dashboard. I think it was to answer some hate mail I was getting, and yeah, because I was playing For Honor earlier, and after that it was good to go. Like it started up just fine when I did it that way. So I guess we could find out if that's the way it works.
Yeah, if we can, yeah, try that out.
So we're looking at a little Dead by Daylight tonight, little GTA. Probably do some races or something on there while our stuff is filling up. Let's see
Hey,
what
I could
else.
always fill up my crates again.
Your crate should be full. We went to everything, filled everything up.
You know, the ones that I accidentally crashed and blew up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that. I've got a warehouse myself that needs filling.
Okay.
We could also, and we do got some building to do on For Honor. Oh, good lord. Or on DayZ, which we really need to get into doing because I realized that our car is sitting in the middle of a kill zone, so it's still well hidden. No, I hit it. I had to rehide
Oh, I
it.
thought you moved it.
I
Yeah.
went and I picked up Bailey. I took him to where we were, and then I rehide it.
Gosh dang it, that means I have walking to do.
Yep. No. I rehit it right where we were.
Oh, okay.
So we will find out. But
Wait.
anyways, what?
I was gonna say, what did you and Bailey do if you guys just
I went, picked
hid
him
the
up,
car
took him to
again?
where we had the car hidden, and he had to get off to go to bed for work.
Oh, okay.
And I got off, went back and checked it after the purge, and it was still there. So.
Good thing that's over with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was talking to the admins, and they're discussing having a 24-hour all-night purge instead of running it for 3 days like that, running it for 24 hours.
Okay. And that's gonna really suck, especially when like only one of us has night vision.
That's actually going to make it much more interesting. And I'm sure between now and then I can find some more night vision goggles. It's just a matter of going places I don't like going.
Yeah. Ugh.
We will see how that happens. I'm sure I could get it where I'm sure I could hop out when there's few to no people out and handle it. Probably wouldn't be much problem. So
I don't know. I'm usually asleep.
yes, you are. So with that said, I don't know. Well, we're an hour into the show. It was supposed to be an hour and a half long, but we muscled our way through those reviews quick because we just wanted to rip them off like a damn band-aid.
Well, I mean, especially Candyman. That was just a horrible, horrible movie, and I'm so glad I'm done with it. I hope the sequel's better. Oh, that's what we should have put in there.
Yeah, well, you can watch the sequel on your own time, Mr. Man.
After I find time to watch these.
Look, it isn't my fault you don't know how to divide your time up like the rest of us. You have poor time management skills.
I never have enough time to do anything. Sleep and work. That's my life.
Well, you know, it's the life of 95.9% of all Americans. They don't feel bad.
Oh, I know.
Anyways,
But-
that said.
I was going to tell you, well, I guess I could tell you afterwards. It's not really important right
No,
now.
go ahead. Go ahead. What's up?
Hopefully by next month, I should be able to have either a week or 2 full weeks off, and I'm going to spend it the whole time with Chris.
So we'll figure that out. But
Hopefully.
for now,
We're short-staffed, so.
yeah, well, for now, I'm going to be Skalla Pat. He's going to be Big Gay Matt. And the Goonies are going to the movies. So we are now going to go play some video games. So we will catch you guys next week with another review. Good night, everyone.
Yes. Good night, guys.